Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day to all my students. Okay, so as I mentioned in class last week for FCM2 Friday class 3 to 7, we are not going to have any physical class because of we got this instruction from the Ministry of Higher Education Malaysia. So all students in all higher learning institutions IPTs will be given a 5-day leave, okay, to fulfill your obligation as a Malaysian citizen to participate in the general elections which is on the 19th November. So starting from today, which is on the 17th November until Monday, which is on the 21st November. So we're not going to have any face-to-face class. Right, so for our subject, okay, computer graphic 1, for my Friday class on Friday, you just need to watch this pre-recorded video. So as you can see in our teaching plan, okay, for the weekly teaching plan, so for week 3 we're going to have a project briefing. Okay, so we are going to have your project guideline and briefing, okay, which is you need to do a movie poster design and you have to include image manipulation in your final work project. Okay, so this is an individual work and it will actually contribute 40% of the weightage, okay, to your total coursework mark. Okay, so now let's talk about the task that you have to do. Okay, so the first task you have to do the movie poster design, which is it will contribute 20% to your total course mark. Okay, so you are required to design a movie poster using Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so a movie poster in basic is actually we use to advertise a movie or films. Okay, so here are the steps. Okay, we are giving you the step how can you actually start your movie poster design. So basically the step here actually is what you have to do for your ideation and planning. Okay, which is you need to present in week 7. Okay, so the first step is to decide on a movie genre. Okay, so there is several options you can choose to create. Okay, for example, you can decide, you can choose whether you want to do action movie or maybe action adventure movie, or maybe you can do like a composite genre, which is like for example like action and horror movie, something like that. Okay, all right, so then you have to come up with a movie title. So there are generally 3 ways for you to come up with a movie title. Okay, so those are actually team title, character oriented title, and ambiguous film title. So this is basically from the link here. You can read the article, so how can you actually come up with a title. All right, and after that you have to craft a movie poster design for a specific genre requires you to study and look at a main reference of the same genre. So because we want to get idea for your poster design, movie poster design, so we need you to find at least 2 references for your movie poster. So these references is a guide for you to look at the layout of the poster, or maybe the color scheme used in the poster, or maybe you want to refer on how the image manipulation is done are done in that poster. So this is help you to actually to identify the cinematic mood of your poster. And after that, you have to do the sketches of the movie poster, which is include your ideation plans such as style, theme, poster layout, okay, the color palettes form, and the mood and the genre. So which is basically in your ideation and plan, you have to come up with your hand-drawn sketch, or it could be digital drawing, okay, for your movie poster, digital sketch, okay, where you need to include in your ideation and plan, which is it must be done in a Microsoft Word. Okay, so maybe you can it's up to your creativity. You can use Microsoft Word or any word processing tool actually to do your ideation and plan for your movie poster. Okay, so we look into that in the next slide. Okay, I will explain to you further. Okay, so your second task, okay, what you have to do is you have to actually do image manipulation technique. You have to apply image manipulation technique, okay, in your movie poster design. Okay, so this is another evaluation, which is we are going to look into your movie poster design and also image manipulation design. Okay, so basically movie poster design will contribute 20% to your total course mark, and image manipulation will contribute 15 mark to your coursework mark. Okay, so for this one, you are required to manipulate images of the character person, which will be included in the movie poster design, where you need to apply more than 5 image manipulation technique and methods. Right? Okay, so talking about the image, okay, the image that you need is actually we want you to include the image of, it can be an image of yourself or anyone else, just as long as your own photo, or maybe you can use a photo taken from a free stock images. Okay, so the reason why we asking you to actually to use images from the free stock images is basically because that image is taken by the professional photographer, and then there is no issue with the copyright lah, because it's free for you to use. Okay, so you can maybe get it from Unsplash or maybe pixel.com, Pixabay, or stock Adobe website. Okay, and then after that, okay, you must gather choices of your photo that you plan to choose, and then some reference of the idea on how you want to do your image manipulation of your character on your movie, in your movie poster design. So basically you have to compile, okay, you have to have your, maybe you have to pick the main subject, the main photo for your movie poster design, and then maybe several few photos, maybe about 7 to 8 photos that you are going to actually compose, okay, in your movie poster design. All right. Okay, so moving to the next slide. Okay, so now let's talk about the photo manipulation. So what is actually photo manipulation? Alright, so photo manipulation is an art where ordinary photos are transformed into something alluring, okay, unexpected and totally out of the box. Okay, so normally it's often done by designers to express their creativity or maybe just for an experimental purpose. So as you can see here, alright, this photo, okay, these two images, the real photo it's a blend between photography and graphic design. Okay, so we use numerous effects, okay, to transform an image or few images into a remarkable one. Right, so you can see here. All right, okay, we want to bring realism to the unreal picture. So another second picture, as you can see here, okay, this is the girl. Okay, so it's basically maybe the girl is not holding anything, so we want to actually adding some effect. Okay, so this one maybe you can get some inspiration from the ideas, okay, from the movies that you like. Okay, so to get something. Okay, right, so maybe that glow effect, okay, and many more, so neon effect. Okay, we have a lot of reference. You can refer to the YouTubes. Okay. Okay, so here are the example of photo manipulation. So you can see here in the first, second, and third example. All right, so the original image, we actually apply some effect. Okay, so here you can see lots of technique, lots of skill that we require you to actually get this output. Okay, all right, so this is just for your example. Don't worry. Okay, from time to time we'll start next week we'll start learning more topic, okay, about more contents, syllabus in your Adobe Photoshop. Right. Okay, so here's another example of photo manipulation. So as you can see here, you can include images as well as object or people in the picture to make it look like looks realistic. Okay, all right. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the project requirements. So these are the compulsory requirement that you have to actually follow. Okay, all right. So the first one, okay, your movie poster design should be created using Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so here are the document setting, which is the artboard side. You need to use 27 inches and 40 inches, which is actually this is an A4 size. Okay, so it should be in a vertical orientation. Okay, all right, and then the color mode is should be in a RGB mode, and the raster effect is 150 ppi. Okay, so as you know, you must use your own photo and a free stock images only, okay, from the website. All right. And the third one, you are required to use any selection tools, image correction tool, image manipulation tools, okay, masking, okay, we will learn in the next topic, I think in week 5, in week 6, okay, layer style, layer adjustment, character tools, okay, color gradient filters, and any tools that related, okay, that maybe you found it from the YouTubes, okay, you can apply it to your movie poster design. Okay, so basically whatever that you have learned in this course, okay, you have to actually apply in your movie poster design. Okay, so the next requirement is you have to know that this is not a design class. Okay, our mark and our evaluation, okay, will be focused on the use of the software of your work. So basically how the output, okay, basically how you did, okay, the output. Okay, you want to see about maybe the technical skill, right? How you actually name all your layers, okay, the skill and the method that you use for your movie poster design. Okay, nevertheless, if your quality of your work is great, and of course you will gain extra mark. Okay, and please make sure you organize your layers and give suitable names and grouping for all of your layers, and make sure you color your layer accordingly to any category or folders in your layer panels. Okay, and then after that you are required, okay, to present and submit your ideation and plan for movie poster in week 7. Okay, in week 7. Okay, let me use a pointer. Okay, so week 7. Okay, so this is actually your project presentation 1, okay, which is it will contribute 10% to the total of your coursework mark. Okay, so we will announce the details of the presentation methods and the submission. All right, And after you have done your project presentation 1 in week 11, you are going to submit your 80% progress of your movie poster design. Okay, so this the 80% progress submission will contribute 5% to your project coursework mark, right? Okay, so next, okay, you have to present, okay, your final project presentation, which is the project presentation 2 in week 12, okay, and then it will contribute another 10% to your total cost mark. And again, you will announce, okay, the same method and submission lah for your project presentation 1, same, okay. So and then your final project must be saved and turned into 2 files. We just need your movie poster underscore your student ID in your working file, which is .psd, and movie poster underscore student ID in JPEG, right? And you have to submit your project file in a Google Classroom under final project movie poster design and image manipulation and week 13. So now it's actually week 3, and you still have about 3 weeks, okay, to go, okay. And in week 7 you have to submit your ideation and plan. All right. Okay, so now we want to look into the anatomy of the movie poster design. Okay, movie poster. So what actually do all movie poster design have in common, right? So all movie poster normally usually contain movie titles, name of actor and actress who featured in the movie, directors, producer, a visual that represent the movie. So it could be maybe not a visual, so it actually is a combination of several images, okay, and then a tagline or teaser. So, and of course it includes together the eye-catching colors, which is you need to select the color palettes, the color scheme for your movie poster, okay, and it's used large and bold typographies, okay, and interesting graphic help you to actually conjure up a cinematic experience in a static form. And of course, if you're using a well-known images movie star, have to pull the viewer. Okay, but yeah, for your movie poster, maybe you can use a real actor or actress, okay, you can use that, okay, or maybe you can just use your own photo, right? Okay. Okay, so in the next, I think 4 or 5 slide is the example of the movie poster. Okay, you can have a look on the example. So actually how the poster, the layout of the poster, the typography tags, and how the movie poster designer created the movie. Okay, movie poster. So for you to get the idea for your movie poster design. Okay, so please have a look. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the project assessment details. So I'm going to actually do the summary. Okay, you can see in this table, okay, basically what are the assessment and the weightage for your project, okay, and for your assessment lah, okay. And then you can see your project presentation 1, which is 10%, you're going to submit in week 7, okay, and then you have to present and submit your ideation and plan, which is I explained in slide number 2, 3, and 4, okay. And then you have a progress check, which is 5%. It's about 40%, 80% completion, progress of project completions in week 11. You have to submit. Okay, and you have to your project presentation too, which is you have to submit the final version of your project movie poster design and image manipulation in week 12, and your final project movie poster submission will be in week 13, okay, which is the movie poster design 20% and the image manipulation, which is 50%. So the reason why you have to submit in week 13, because after your presentation too, maybe you want to do like some amendment, okay, based on the feedback that you receive, okay, from us, okay, and then maybe you want to do some like modification. Alright, and then you can submit the final version in week 13. Okay, basically week 13 and 14. Okay, and then here you have to hand in your final project work in two formats in the Google Classroom. Okay. Okay, so here are the project assessment criteria. Okay, so it is very important for you to know the project assessment criteria for you to actually get to score, okay, for your project work. Okay, so you can see for the project presentation is 10%. Okay, so the first criteria is the originality, which is you have to actually your presentation should be original, inventive, and creative, and of course with an excellent ideation and plan. Okay, all right, and then the content delivery, so your content should be accurate and information presented in logical order. Your voice should be very clear, correct, and precise pronunciation. Okay, Okay, so for the project progress submission, okay, so you can see which is the 80% completion. Okay, so if you want to get 5 marks, okay, full mark, your progress should be beyond the expectation, beyond your ideation plan, which is, or maybe you can just submit to me that 100% complete, okay, completion, so you get 5 marks. Okay, and then for the project presentation too, and again, we are looking at your originality and your content delivery. So if you want to get excellent marks, 5 marks, you have to actually follow these requirements. Okay, so now we're going to look into the movie poster design evaluation, which is that 20%. So you can see we have 4 criteria here, which is the criteria number 1 is about the use of software, which is your proficiency using Adobe Photoshop to create movie poster and apply the image manipulations. Okay, students use the selection tool and you use the tool correctly and neatly. So if you want to get 5 marks, you have to make sure that you get excellent understanding of the use of applications, and you use advanced tools and technique and produce exceptional work. Okay, and criteria number 2, make sure you follow the instruction, the guideline, okay, the project requirements. So you fulfill all the project requirements, okay, for your movie poster design project. Okay, so for example, you follow the poster size should be A4 size, and make sure you follow A4 size lah. Okay, and then make sure you submit the 2 file format that I want you to submit, which is in the working file and the JPEG file. Okay, so you'll get 5 marks if you fulfill all the project requirements. And the third criteria is the movie poster design quality. Okay, so you make sure we want to see here actually you practice the professional process in creating a movie movie poster using Photoshop. Your efforts, okay, with the design, appropriate look and feel. Okay, so for example, you plan to do a more horror movie, but the outcome actually does not portray horror. So please make sure you know what are your outcome, okay, your output. Okay, so you will get 5 if you know, okay, your project objective. Okay, your movie poster is actually very clear and consistent to the ideation plan that you have presented in week 7. Okay, and then of course you produce excellent design and significant outcome. So the last criteria, we're going to look at your professionalisms, okay, which is your work, organization and technical skills. For example, your layers is renamed and group according to what the design element within it. Okay, so you'll get 5 marks if you display excellent layer management skill, rename all the files and show excellent file management, as well as the naming file for your working file, right? Okay, so now we are going to look into the image manipulation design assessment. Okay, so we have 3 criteria here, which is the first one is the image manipulation technique. And of course, you want to see your skill, okay, using a variety of image manipulation technique, okay, in your poster design. So if you want to get 5 marks, make sure you follow this criteria. And then we are going to look into your design quality, okay, your efforts, okay, to produce a excellent design, okay. And then the third one is your efforts, okay, make sure your efforts is beyond the expectation. So for example, you request for extra consultation and always ask for the feedback for your movie poster design, okay, so you'll get 5 marks, right? Okay, so now let's take a look on the example here. So I'm giving you here is one of the example, which is you want to come up with the movie title, for example, Nana. Okay, so the first step to make a movie poster is to coming up with an idea. So example we're giving here is actually Nana movie poster. So I want you to refer to the sample of movie poster design ideation. So I'm giving you together, okay, in the project post, okay, project in the Google Classroom under project announcement, okay, project classwork. So you can see that I'm giving you one file which is called sample of movie poster design and edition. So this is basically the PDF file here. Actually is example that you have to actually present and submit in week 7, which is we call it as a ideation and plan. So let's have a look on that PDF, right? Okay, so this is what you get when you open the ideation and plan.pdf. So this is just sample for your reference. Okay, so where this one created using word processing, which is Microsoft Word. You can just use any word processing. Okay, and then here you have to include your movie poster title, which is in this example is Nana. Okay. and it should be hand drawn, okay, and digital sketch. Okay, so it can be just hand drawing or digital sketch. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, and then you need to include the brief synopsis about your movie title, and then the genre, whether it's action, drama, or what. Okay, you need to include your poster layout design reference. Okay, in the project guideline, okay, and the one that I reviewed just now, you have to include at least 2 references. But if you give me more, I think it's good for you to get that to get some more ideas lah for your project. Okay. Okay, so in the addition and planning, okay, in the PDF that I give it to you, okay, you also to have to include the color palette that you're going to use, the color scheme that you're going to use for your movie poster design. Okay, talking about color palettes, you can see in the next slide, I'll be sharing with you how can you actually come up with the color palettes. Okay, all right, and then of course the font that you want to use and the typography that you want to use, especially for your movie title. Okay, and then the photo to be used. Okay, what are the images that you want to use, okay, for your movie poster design. Okay, so in the addition and plan, also make sure you include your photo source. So this is just 2. So if you use 5 images, so please make sure you include all the 5 sources of your photo. Okay, and then you have to actually find the techniques, image manipulation technique that you want to apply in your movie poster design. So you have to mention what are the techniques that you want to use and what are the methods that you want to use. Okay, and then where did you get that technique? So maybe you need to find the reference. So as you can see in my project guideline, you have to include at least 5 references. So please make sure you have at least 5 references. You can have more, but minimum is actually 5 references. So this is basically is a guide for you. How can you apply it to your final project work, right? So this is all the information needed, okay, for your addition and plan. So please make sure you open the file given, which is addition and planning, okay, for your movie poster in the PDF file. All right. Okay, so this is the process, okay, for your final project work process. Okay, so you can see for your addition and plan, which is in week 7, we have to come up with the hand-drawn sketches. Okay, hand-drawn sketch together with the planning and addition. Okay, that I briefed you just now, okay, in the previous slide. And then in week 11, you have to come up with 80% progress submission. Okay, and in week 12, you have to do final submission, which is the final project presentation 2, and then in week 30, you have to submit your final work. So this is basically the process involved, okay, when you want to create a movie poster, okay, for your project. Okay, all right. Okay, so here again, I want to highlight on the important days, what you have to actually submit. In week 7, we have project presentation 1, which is due is on Friday, 18 December. And then in week 11, we have progress submission, which is 80% progress submission. In week 11, due on the Friday, 13 January 2023. And you have your project presentation 2 in week 12, which is due on the Friday, 20 January 2023. And your final project submission will be in week 13, which is due on the Friday, 27 January. So please make sure you actually aware of all this submission, right? So of course, we will always remind you in the Google Classroom and class to submit your work, right? Okay, here also I'm giving you the examples from the YouTube video. How can you actually start your movie poster design? So you can look at this, for example, from the YouTubes. Okay, so there's a lot of example here, but I think this is is the best example where you can actually get the ideas how to start, okay, your movie poster. So please have a look. Compulsory for you to actually to watch all these 4 videos. Okay, right? Okay, so now I just want to give you some tips for your colors, okay, color selection for your movie poster. So, and of course, keeping color combinations is combination should be simple. Okay, you can just choose about 2 to 3 colors. Okay, so color is the power which is directly influence the soul. So if you can see here the example of which is from the Gravity film poster is about global panorama. So you notice that how the use of color blue is actually provoke feelings of loneliness, coldness, and anxiety. So actually color play an important roles in your design, in any design, in any creations. Okay, right? Okay, so this is another tips, okay, for the color scheme for your movie poster. So I really hope that you can watch this video, this YouTube video, right? Okay, and I just giving you some example here. Blue and yellow for thrillers. You use black, white, and orange for action films. Okay, so normally white background are often used for comedies, particularly romantic comedy. So please make sure you know your genre. So that is very important. Why you need to know your movie genre. Okay, because it's very important to create the cinematic looks and the moods of your movie poster design. Okay, so you can see here this Kung Fu Panda. It used analogous colors, okay, which is you can see is combination of orange, okay, blue, orange, reds, and yellow colors. So that is how actually you should come up for your movie poster edition and design. You should plan what is the color scheme that you want to use for your movie poster. All right, so please have a look on the video link given. Okay, so this, I think this is the last part of the slide. Okay, so since we don't have any weekly exercises for week 3 because we are focusing more on the project ideations, project briefing and guideline. Okay, so what we want you to do is actually we want you to do a project idea brainstorming. So for this week, week 03, you are required to update your movie title, genre, and brief synopsis of movie title for your final project assignment. Okay, so here I'm giving you for FCM2, please make sure you click on this link. All right, and update your movie title, genre, and brief synopsis. So basically, when you click on that link, okay, it will be linked to the Excel, shared Excel, where you have to update. Please find your names and update your movie title, genre, and the movie title synopsis. Okay, brief synopsis. So for FCM2, please make sure you follow your groups, and for FCM3, please follow to the link given here, which is under FCM3. So I wish you all the best. Okay, so for the project idea brainstorming, okay, the deadline is before our class next week. So for those class on Tuesday, or the due is for my Tuesday class, basically we have physical class where I actually conduct that project briefing. Make sure you submit to me before week Tuesday, and for Friday class, please make sure you complete before our Friday class next week. So with that, I wish you all the best, and if you have any questions, okay, if you have any question, please drop me an email. All right, okay, all right, all the best, okay, and see you next week. All right, thank you everyone.